Today I want to share with you a powerful tool that's not only helped me, but my clients overcome their limiting beliefs. It is a concept that Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich. That concept is called autosuggestion. It's the practice of making deliberate suggestions to your subconscious mind. And this will help influence your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitude, your behavior, and more importantly, your overall self-image. Today I'm going to talk about the 7 steps to implementing positive autosuggestion so that you can change your life. Now, these limiting beliefs that we actually have and hold and stop us from achieving whatever it is we want in life actually come from this principle of self-suggestion. The problem is what we're doing is we're doing the negative self-talk and repeating it over and over and over again, and our subconscious mind just takes it in. The way that we actually influence the subconscious mind is through repetition. So we can actually use the same technique that created these limiting beliefs that are holding us back and use it for the positive, actually being able to reprogram our belief systems. So how it works is very, very simply, the human mind, as I mentioned, absorbs what it repeatedly hears or tells itself. So all beliefs are just a habit of thought. They are thoughts that you've kept on thinking so much that you believe them to be true. The thing about beliefs is they aren't facts. They don't have factual proofs. They're literally just beliefs. So if we can actually consciously feed ourselves these positive suggestions, then gradually over time, we're going to start to accept them as new beliefs. Because that's how the old beliefs were created. It's the exact same principle that we're using. We're just using it for the positive rather than for the negative. We all know it to be true. These beliefs that we've got, we just constantly tell ourselves, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. And over time, we basically just believe it to be true. We don't even stop to actually question it. You've got beliefs that are holding you back and you haven't actually stopped to question where they come from. Now, before we actually dive into these steps and how we can use this powerful tool to actually reprogram ourselves, if you take any value from today's episode and you're on YouTube, give us a subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you listen to this on Apple Podcast or Spotify, think of giving us a follow for the same reason so you don't miss any future episodes. We've got some amazing full-length episodes coming up on Tuesdays. So you might be asking yourself, well, what's the difference here between a self-suggestion and an affirmation? Now, an affirmation is used to counter negative self-talk. So when you catch yourself talking negatively, you use an affirmation to counteract it. Now, what this auto-suggestion is, it's a step further. Because what we're actually doing is we're actively and repeatedly saying something to reprogram our subconscious. So we're not waiting for this negative talk to come up. We're actively going out of our way to reprogram it. It actively targets the subconscious mind and, more importantly, our belief systems. So what are the 7 steps that we can use to implement this? So step number 1, we actually need to identify the goal or the outcome that we're desiring. Because what we're doing here is we're trying to use this to help us get out of our own way. That's what this is all about. Because we've got these beliefs, or these self-limiting beliefs, so beliefs we've put on ourselves, they're limiting us. They're actually stopping us moving towards the goal we're moving towards. So we first need to identify, right, well, where is it we're going? Because if we're going to unpick some of these beliefs, we need to know what beliefs we're unpicking. So first thing, where are we going? And it doesn't even have to necessarily be a goal. It could be areas of self-improvement. So it could be your self-esteem, it could be your self-confidence. You want to improve that. Whatever it is, we've got to be specific. Define what is it you actually want to improve. That's step 1. Step number 2, we then need to assess our current beliefs, our current thought patterns, or our assumptions that may actually stop us achieving this thing. So whatever this goal is, well, what beliefs do you have? Oh, I don't believe I'm smart enough. I don't believe my family can ever be rich, so that's not going to be me. I don't believe I can lose 50 pounds. I don't believe I'm capable enough to get this job promotion. Or what assumptions do you have? You're assuming no one's going to want to hire me. No one's going to want to be with me. I'm unlovable. Start to actually question these things that are going to help, they're going to hinder you moving forwards. Because this is what we're trying to get rid of. So we actually need to know what is it we're replacing it with. But we need to know what's this thing first? What is it that's holding us back? So then we can actually look at the opposite. Step number 3 then, creating this actual auto-suggestion that specifically targets or contradicts these limitations, or we're actually actively programming a desired quality. So we've got 2 things here. We can either counteract the specific beliefs that we have that are holding us back, Or we can actually program in a desired quality. So if we want more confidence, cool, we can actually program that in. Or if there's something there that's that limiting belief that's holding us back, we can actually target that and contradict it, reprogram that. But we need to create that suggestion. So what is it that you want? And then basically look at it and then create the suggestion that specifically targets what you want, which is the opposite of the belief. So in step number 2, you identified the beliefs that we've got, these negative thought patterns. Create the auto-suggestion that is the opposite, that specifically contradicts the thing that's holding you back, the thing that's limiting you. Specifically counteracts it. Step number 4, it's got to be present tense, it has to be positive, and it has to be empowering. It has to be all 3 of those things, because we need to get an emotional response out of it. So it has to be present tense, positive, and empowering. Has to be positive. It has to make us feel good. Because step number 5 here, step number 5 talks about when we test it, we have to ask ourselves, how does it make us feel? Because it's the emotional response that's the key. It's the emotions that tie it all together. So I'm going to actually read here from Think and Grow Rich, because there's a whole chapter on autosuggestion. And this is going to tie number 4, which is present tense, positive, and empowering, and number 5, test how it makes you feel. This little section here that I'm going to read is going to explain to you the importance of this. First one, remember, therefore, when reading aloud the statement of your desire, that the mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotion or feeling with the words. Second part here, your subconscious mind recognizes and acts upon only thoughts which have been well mixed with emotion or feeling. And the final part here is, plain, unemotional words do not influence the subconscious mind. So as we can see there, we have to get the emotional response. These words that we're using have to elicit an emotion within us to actually get inside the subconscious, to actually reprogram it. The subconscious knows emotions, so we have to have that emotional attachment. Adding on here, if the words that you use, by the way, don't actually give you the emotional response, adjust the language. So if you've read it out loud and you're not getting that emotional response that you want, that positive emotional response, adjust the words, adjust the language that you've used so you do get that emotional response. Number 6, use the targeted suggestions. So now we've created these self-suggestions, actually use them. But you've got to be precise and consistent with them. So I recommend setting alarms, or if you look at the back of my phone, I have an affirmation on the back of my phone. So every single time I look at my phone, when it's face down, I see this self-suggestion, So I look at it all the time. I'm reprogramming my subconscious. You can use notepads, sticky cards on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth, but you're reprogramming, you're consciously, actively reprogramming your subconscious mind at any given opportunity. And when you're thinking of this positive statement, it's going to change and elicit the emotional response that you're in. It's going to put you in a better emotional state. This is so, so powerful. And the final step here is actually monitor your progress, but you have to take action. You can't just say words and expect your life to change, especially if the thing you were looking at changing here was getting towards a goal or something you want to achieve. You can't just say these auto-suggestions. It's not going to work. You have to actually take action with it. And this is how you monitor your progress. Have you actually started to make progress? If the answer is no, I'm telling you, you're either not taking action or you haven't consistently been doing these self-suggestions. These self-suggestions have absolutely changed my life. It's so, so powerful. It's one of the main things that people talk about from Think and Grow Rich that actually helped change their life. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. Until next time, take it easy.